pregnancy and now you're a horrible mother. The best thing that you can do right now is go get the counseling that you need and the support that he needs, the physical therapy and the therapies that he needs. That's all you can do now, and hope for the best. You have said far worse things. You said that you could kill the baby. You wanted the baby to die while he was pregnant. You've said far worse things than the father has ever said about him. You're embarrassed because you did that to him. You're embarrassed because you smoked and drank while pregnant and you made this the outcome. If you want to be mad at anybody, be mad at yourself. Be mad at yourself.
Most people treat this whole Chrisean situation like it's entertainment, but now it's turning into something real serious, and it's getting scary. Blueface, Chrisean, and their whole circle act like the only thing they want to do is spit on each other, drag each other, and throw names around, but the only person truly stuck in the crossfire is Junior. New info just dropped about what's really going on with his health, and it's clear that everyone around him, especially Chrisean, played a role in how things got this bad. What makes it worse is knowing that all of this could have been prevented if the adults were actually focused on him instead of chasing drama. This all came out right after Chrisean started popping up everywhere, talking reckless, firing off threats at Blueface for leaving her, even claiming he would end up like Ronnie if he didn't straighten up. She said it with her chest too, like she wasn't talking about somebody she shares a child with. But Blueface isn't rocking with any of that because he didn't get out of prison just to end up in another dangerous situation. Now he's exposing just how far Chrisean allegedly went and how her decisions played a part in their son's struggles. And even with the whole internet begging her to focus on Junior and get him the help he needs, she keeps doubling back into chaos, creating an environment that no kid should be trying to survive in. It's not even rumors anymore, because there are way too many clips of Chrisean crossing every line imaginable, drinking heavy while pregnant and treating Junior like some prop just so she could stay close to Blueface instead of treating him like her actual child. But that's not even the part that has people shocked. Right before she gave birth, the story going around is that doctors told her she had chlamydia and that there was no way she should be delivering naturally because it could seriously affect her baby's eyesight. Hearing something like that while already in labor shows she wasn't keeping up with regular checkups the way she should have, and that alone had people stressing. The doctors reportedly pushed her to get a C-section for safety. But guess what? Chrisean allegedly said she was still gonna give birth naturally because she wanted to go live with the whole thing and didn't want anything messing up her tattoo. She was focused on the wrong thing at the worst possible moment, and the internet has never stopped talking about it since. She went straight for what should have been a C-section, and now that little boy is allegedly dealing with all kinds of challenges because of how everything went down. And to make this whole situation even wilder,
Blue, you're not gonna live a long time. Keep going against our kid, bro. You're not gonna live a long time. Bullying your second son, bro. That's crazy. It's all right. His address is 18663 Juniper Springs Drive. For everybody.
Blueface's mom recently responded to a follower who pressed her about why Chrisean wasn't tested for anything after giving birth to Junior back in 2023, especially since most hospitals automatically run alcohol and substance panels on new mothers and alert CPS if something looks off. The follower wrote, "Hospitals test you for everything. How would they not know, and why isn't that baby in proper care if she really did this?" And Carlissa hit back with, "She didn't go to no regular hospital." That one line had the whole internet staring, because it explains a lot, including why the hospital even allowed her to deliver naturally when she reportedly had medical risks. This whole thing is chaotic, but Chrisean isn't the only one people are pointing fingers at. Everyone around her, family, friends, anybody who sat there and encouraged the reckless behavior, should be held accountable too. They watched everything spiral and acted like it was normal when nothing about it was normal. And when Blueface first got released, Chrisean was the very first person to pull up with Junior so they could have father-son time. But the moment he saw his child, he was stunned because Junior still hadn't gotten the improvements or care he was supposed to have by then. Junior's condition was right there in front of everybody. He couldn't even keep his head steady. And Chrisean brought him out wearing just a diaper with his hair looking dry like it hadn't seen moisturizer in weeks. After that moment, Blueface basically did everything except spend real time with Chrisean. Instead, he's been all over the internet showing off this wild new situation he's calling a relationship with Hazel Lee.
Or find a grave to dig up. Every time somebody really played with me, always get hurt. So I'm giving a warning. Just like how that nigga... See, look, I ain't even finna go there. Y'all cannot see the baby. Don't hit my phone. We not cool. I don't care who he be with. It's just the fact that he cared who I was with.
Who he even jokes about like she's his golden retriever, and popping up on dating shows like he doesn't have real-life responsibilities waiting at home. Meanwhile, Chrisean has been spiraling online, saying Blueface was disrespecting her son and snapping on anybody connected to him. She cursed out Blueface, his kids with Jaden and Alexis, his mom, and even Jaden herself. And honestly, this is exactly why Jaden doesn't let Chrisean around her kids. The energy is way too chaotic and unpredictable. It's giving, if she can't have Blueface, then nobody can. And people started noticing. But what really had the whole internet frozen was when Chrisean started making threats, talking like something might happen to Blueface if he kept playing with her, and even saying he could end up like Ronnie without even seeing it coming. She was on live telling the world she has people who don't play about her, and that bad things always happen to folks who try to embarrass her. Hearing something like that was shocking enough, but saying it about Blueface, a man she claims she loves and who she also says is the father of Junior, had everyone calling it downright dangerous. Chrisean saying stuff like that to anybody would be wild, but saying it to him made people realize this situation is way deeper and way darker than what we see online. All of this just shows that Chrisean doesn't really care about anybody the way she claims, especially when things don't go the way she wants. And that's exactly why people believe she hasn't been putting real effort into caring for Junior. Because deep down, it looks like she only had him to keep some type of tie to Blueface, not because she genuinely wanted motherhood in the first place. Now she's trying to push the narrative that Blueface is definitely the father. And behind the scenes, she's allegedly pressing him, saying she'll come for his pockets if he tries to deny Junior publicly. Even his mom, Carlissa, has been looking at this whole situation sideways, and she's made it clear she doesn't fully believe Blueface is the father either. But the family can't really speak up the way they want to because Blueface's brother, Dre, already told him to step up, stay calm, and just handle things responsibly to keep the situation from getting even messier. Dre basically told him to keep the peace before things turn into something nobody wants. And here's where things get even more intense. There's been all kinds of online speculation about Rodney's passing after he publicly doubled down on his belief that Junior was his son.
Why didn't your mother's instincts kick in day one when you gave birth? Why? Because I was there. It didn't kick in. It didn't kick in. When the nurses came in and told you, can they talk to you about yourself? You're like, no. Just go ahead and put it out there. Whatever's wrong. Yeah, and they said you had chlamydia. Your mother's instincts didn't kick in. They said we had to do a C-section. Guess what? You refused. You didn't want to mess up your little tattoo. Or you didn't want to get cut, right? Oh, all right. Where your mother's instincts was at then? Because you sent through that infected canal, right?
Folks on the internet have been connecting dots that don't need to be connected, but the theories still popped off. Even Carlissa mentioned the situation lightly, but she made it clear she wasn't about to dig into it or speak too deeply on it for reasons she didn't want to share. Everything around this situation keeps getting heavier, and the people closest to it act like there's way more behind the scenes than what they're allowed to say. People online started connecting wild theories because every time someone tried speaking out about Junior, something chaotic followed right after, and folks swear the timing has been way too weird to ignore. The situation with Rodney only made the internet louder, because the moment he stood firm on his claim, the energy around everything shifted. Even though nobody has proof of anything, people love drama, and they ran with it like it was gospel. But if you look at the way Chrisean reacts whenever anybody questions her version of events, it becomes clear she doesn't like anyone challenging her. Not even for the sake of the child she claims she's protecting. And the craziest part is how unpredictable everything gets whenever money or attention enters the picture. One minute she's talking about peace and healing, and the next she's throwing threats around like she's starring in her own action movie. People close to the situation say she moves like someone who wants loyalty without offering stability. And anytime she feels Blueface pulling away, she flips the whole script. That alone has fans convinced she's way more focused on keeping a grip on him than on making sure Junior is in a safe, calm environment.
You know, I can't wait when me and my son just go visit your grave one day. You feel me? Because that's what you're trying to do right now while we living our lives. Separate, whatever, from the chaos. Yo, bitch ass wanna kill us. You know you gonna die first before us, right?
Meanwhile, Blueface is out here creating a whole new wave of drama with Hazel E, acting like everything is cool while his real-life responsibilities stay tangled up behind him. The internet has been dragging him too, saying he's using new relationships and social media antics to distract himself from the guilt he feels over how Junior's situation turned out. Because let's keep it real, even if he wasn't the main cause, he was still close enough to see the red flags while they were waving in his face. Watching him move like nothing's wrong has people questioning what's really going through his mind behind all the jokes and trolling. On the other hand, Chrisean's supporters are standing 10 toes down, claiming she's been doing everything on her own while the world keeps pointing fingers at her. They say she's overwhelmed, surrounded by chaos, and dealing with people who only show up when there's something to talk about online. But even they can't explain away how she's handled certain moments, especially the ones involving Junior's health, safety, and overall well-being. It's like every time folks try to defend her, another video drops that makes things harder to justify. And behind the scenes, families on both sides are walking on eggshells, choosing their words carefully because they know how fast one comment can turn into a whole war. Carlissa barely speaks without stopping herself. Dre is trying to keep the peace before something escalates. And Jaden doesn't want her kids anywhere near the chaos. Everyone is moving with caution because they know this situation doesn't operate on logic. It runs on emotion, pressure, and whoever gets the last word that day. With all this tension building up, it's clear that what the world sees online is only a tiny slice of a much bigger, darker story playing out behind closed doors. And unless somebody steps up and finally puts Junior's needs first, this whole situation is only going to get louder, messier, and harder to watch as more pieces start falling into place.
And to my brother, this the last time we gonna have any type of interaction, right? Whether that's your baby or not, nigga, you better say that's your baby, nigga. Or they, like I said, they will hurt you, nigga. So say that's your baby. I don't know if it is or it ain't. But whether it is or it ain't, they trying to do some stuff and it don't work unless they say that's your baby. So nigga, just that's your baby, nigga. So like I said, I don't know if it is or it ain't. But nigga, that's your baby, nigga. Or they will hurt you. Straight up.
Carlissa is the type to speak on anything the second it hits the shade pages. So the fact that she refuses to address anything connected to Ronnie has people side-eyeing the whole situation. Her silence says way more than anything she could have posted. And it's got folks wondering what she knows that she won't say out loud. And when it comes to Blueface, even if he can't straight up deny being Junior's father, one thing he can say is that the baby needs to be somewhere safe and far from the chaos as soon as possible. There are already reports floating around saying Chrisean has been reported to CPS multiple times. But because she's been moving around with no stable place to stay, officials have struggled to reach her or serve her with anything. And now that people are finally seeing videos and updates showing how Junior is actually being treated, a lot of the public is backing Blueface for once. Because the whole victim narrative folks used to defend Chrisean doesn't hit the same anymore. Online, people have been calling her the type of person who's always angry, always in some drama, and never truly focusing on the things she claims she cares about. Commenters have also been saying she uses religion for attention, mixes personal struggles with social media theatrics, and moves in a way that keeps her life unstable. They're accusing her of putting Junior in the spotlight only when it benefits her, especially when she's trying to get sympathy or money from the few supporters she still has cheering her on. And while everyone has their opinions, what's clear is that Junior deserves a calm, steady routine away from all this back and forth drama. The situation has reached a point where even people who used to defend Chrisean are starting to step back after seeing too many signs that things aren't okay behind the scenes. But what do you all think about this? Drop your thoughts in the comments and make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Don't miss the next update because this story is moving fast.